So, how about that new Brella and those new Dualies? Those are certainly interesting, to say the least. In case you guys haven't heard the news, let me fill you in. Some brand new weapons recently got confirmed for the Splatoon 3 Fresh Season 2024. First up is the Recycled Brella 24 Mark I. A whole mouthful of a weapon title, if you ask me. What makes this Brella unique is that its shield fire rate and recovery rate are much faster compared to the other Brellas in the game. Other than that, the Recycled Brella's range, damage output, and regular fire rate are pretty standard. Oh yeah, and it has a pretty narrow shot width, too. The Recycled Brella's kit is gonna be the angle shooter and the big bubbler. I don't blame you if that doesn't sound appealing, but I honestly think this could be a good weapon. Listen, the current Splatoon 3 meta is basically, Trizookas everywhere! Aggressive weapons and playstyles up and down and all around! Am I right? So, if we have a fully defensive and support mixed weapon like the Recycled Brella, that could be a good shakeup for this meta. This might also depend on what the Fresh Season 2024 patch notes are, but for the sake of this video, I'm just talking about the weapon itself. I am curious about the Recycled Brella. From what I've seen, the damage output appears to be pretty consistent, like a Slosher, for example. Maybe it'll be possible to do angle shooter combos with this weapon. If that's the case, then I think that would be really funny. Oh yeah, there is another thing I forgot to mention about the Recycled Brella. Its shield is very fragile, so it's gonna need to be dealing a lot of damage and activating the big bubbler as much as possible, you know? I think this weapon will work out. Anyway, the other new weapon for the Fresh Season 2024 is the Douser Dualies FF. A much shorter weapon title. These are not that special at first glance. Their range, damage output, and fire rate can be compared to the Jet Squelcher and, I guess, a little bit of the Splattershot Nova. I don't know how many shots the Jet Squelcher actually takes to splat opponents. I just know the damage output for the Douser Dualies is more comparable to the Splattershot Nova. Anyway, what makes the Douser Dualies unique is that they have one long dodge roll, and whenever you're in the rolling stance, the fire rate increases while the range decreases. So you can add elements from the vanilla Splat Dualies and the S-Blast to this weapon. They're like an amalgamation of a bunch of different weapons combined into one dualie, or one pair of dualies in this case. The kit for the Douser Dualies is the Ink Mine and the Killer Whale 5.1. I am way more excited about the Douser Dualies than I am the Recycled Brella, if I'm being honest. They seem like a weapon that allows for so much mobility across whatever stage you're playing on. If the end lag for the Douser Dualies roll isn't too bad, it might even be possible to drop an Ink Mine right after you finish your dodge roll. That could be a good way to prevent enemies from chasing you. So yeah, overall, I'd say my first impressions of the Recycled Brella and the Douser Dualies are decently positive, if that makes sense. They seem off-putting at first glance, but I'd be willing to give them a try. But I think the most important thing is letting them cook whenever they're first released, because these could be great. Anyway, that should be it for this video. I just wanted to ramble about the latest additions to Splatoon 3. What are your thoughts on the Douser Dualies and the Recycled Brella? Let me know in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, this is Tentacles signing out. Take care, everybody.